Scorpio Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers. Welcome to your 8-card draw. What do I need shadow read for this full moon in Aries to your new moon in Scorpio, October 2022? I'm your reader. Mark Angelo Lyons, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Productions since 1998, 24 years in service. Thank you very much. Author of Words of Grace, available on Kindle. There's a link in the description box. You can preview it for free. I'm also a creator on Patreon. Patreon.com/Drawing the Circle, best career move I ever made. A lovely subscription platform for the creative, artistic types, mystic artist that I am. I could set your levels of subscription and charge each one different amounts for different benefits. I'm there every morning with a cup of coffee in my bathrobe, my hair doing what it's going to do, talking about the day's astrological weather, the spiritual implications, the magical applications on an unlisted YouTube live stream link so that my patrons can come chat with me. They get exclusive content like the Zoom classes we're doing there. We record it so that people can participate in the moment it's going down. They can watch it afterwards. They get all sorts of exclusive stuff. They get advanced content that no one else sees except them on my Patreon, as well as they have access to all the extended readings, all the part 1s on YouTube, all the part 2s. They get all levels of subscribers. Otherwise, it's Vimeo on demand. I love it there. I highly recommend my Scorpion friends and cross watchers go check it out if you are an artist, a creative type, because it's really quite magnificent. And if you're looking for a deeper experience, the magic, the miracles, the mysticism, and the mal, come Patreon on Patreon. Because I am the Archangel of Lyons, Mark Angelo Lyons, that really just call me Mal. Hey, my Scorps, my 8th housers, yeah, Pluto ruled. So happy to be here today doing these 8-card draw shadow reads for you. So let's get down to business. If you're new to the channel, an 8-card draw is just one card from 8 different decks, getting you clues, tips, and hints about a specific astrological timeline, in this case, a lunar astrological timeline, waning from full to new. Let's look at it. The full moon in Aries, as I said, Sunday, October 9th, 4:55 a.m. Eastern Time. I am in New York. And when the moon rides at her peak, then ye heart's desire seek. Thank you, Doreen Valiente, wherever you are. But then it is the releasing, the letting go, the shadow work, the alchemy, the paring down, the forgiving, the spiritual alchemy of lead to gold, shadow to light, pain to peace, toxic to healthy, lead having 3 more atoms than gold on the periodic table, how to release that, transform it over a 2-week period, doing the shadow work, and also for the cross watchers, if you apply what goes on in this reading to yourself, you will heal, right, to the best of your ability, right? You will not just be healing you, you'll be helping the person you are cross-watching for, as well as the entire Scorpio collective. So it's that unity, we're all one kind of vibey thing. And the truth is if we do not do the shadow work, many different ways to do that. Oh, there are links in the description box below. Wonderful documentary called The Shadow Effect featuring Debbie Ford. There's also a thing on the 7 Scene Mirrors by Greg Braden. I highly recommend it to kind of get you going. Good introduction to all of that. But if we don't do it and we repress it, it stays lead. It goes into our cell tissue. It goes into the collective unconscious and pops up in the world as really scary, toxic shit, right? So Ho'oponopono, the inner child work, whatever you do, there's plenty of opportunities for shadow work out there, and you don't have to go lock yourself in a hermit cave, although you certainly can. So it's then the releasing all of that to your new moon in Scorpio, Tuesday, October 25th, 7:49 a.m., let's just say 7 a.m. Eastern, to wake up and plant a seed for Scorpio. Ooh, that sounds dirty. So it is a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Check your other signs. To get more information about the timeline we're about to look at, or maybe you got 4 different timelines going on that are all interwoven, interwoven. They're all braided together. Different things you need to let go of in order to clear the path for you to plant the seeds at your new moon for the year. Yeah? Cool. So, both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath if you will. I promise you, I will do my very best to get you the clarity, guidance, and grace from the pantheons of the divine through my chakra systems, my energy systems, these pieces of cardboard, through YouTube to you, so that you can do the shadow work and make this world a better place, or maybe just jump us all to a more golden rather than leaded timeline. Please take a nice deep breath. Told you I was happy to do these reads. In a good mood today. Let's run with it. Still point. And here we go. Using the Caroline Myss archetype deck. That's MYSS. She is a PhD. I do call upon the collective pantheons of angels, archangels, goddesses, gods, ascended masters of the General Assembly, the higher selves of all involved. Fifth dimension and above, 8th chakra and above, the spirit animals and totems, Lord Ganesh from the Hindu pantheon, as well as a delegation of the pantheons from all pantheons, all traditions, lineages, and cultures. Please, one card in clarity. What is the 8th chakra archetype hovering over the head of the Scorpio collective sun, moon, rising, Venus signs and cross watchers watching this video, receiving this reading, determining the shadow work, laying out the alchemy, shifting the electromagnetic fields from the 8th chakra of all the chakras underneath it, what they attract, what they repel, so they no longer delay what cannot be prevented in their shadow work, this full to new. October 2022, the Destroyer. Oh, fuck. The Destroyer is definitely a split family house. In other words, all archetypes belong to certain houses. There are 9 archetypal families. This can be a wild card family, which means it can show up in any way, shape, or form, as well as it could be an action family archetype. Some archetypes have a foot in more than one. What's written here is the shadow attribute and the light attribute. This indicates the lead, which you don't want to look at, you don't want to deal with. If you have looked at it, you don't want to deal with it. If you looked at it and you're dealing with it, you don't want anybody else to know about it, right? Lead, 3 atoms here. Gold, what you're shooting for and what you can see more in your life and in the world if you just do your best on this one. The shadow attribute, intoxication with destructive power, which if I remember correctly looks like this. Right? You're with me on that. Very Disney villain. Destroying others' dreams or potentials. Now look, Scorpios, I have a Scorpio brother, an older Scorpio brother, bless his soul. I love him. He's great. He's got a filthier sense of humor than I do. But he has that intuitive ability to find that thing. Right? The chink in your armor, I think is what it's called, right? Like the crack, and just put in a little twist, right? With that Scorpio stinger there. But it made me stronger, you know. It doesn't kill me. Well, nothing kills an immortal soul, so I guess it makes us stronger. So to do the alchemy towards the light attribute, releasing what is potentially destructive, preparing for new life, that is exactly what this reading is about. It's exactly what this entire series, the 8, and it used to be 7 card draws, now it's the 8 card draw, exactly what it's about shadow work. Because those destructive purposes, those destructive impulses, releasing what is potentially destructive, preparing for new life, right? Taking that and using it in a creative rather than a destructive way. Now, keep in mind, destruction itself is neutral, because if it were not for the stomach acids, right, you wouldn't be able to digest food. It has to destroy the cell wall, right, so that you can extract the nutrients. So very, very powerful. And, you know, it's part of nature, creation and destruction, right? Shiva and Shakti, round and round, and Kali and all of them. And Ganesh to remove the obstacles. So keep in mind, because we're going to refer to this again, there is gold hidden in that lead. 3 atoms, obstacles, if you will. So we're going to get to the Whispers of Lord Ganesha, second to last card down. But let's look at the next 4 chakras. Underneath that, the crown, the third eye, the throat, and the heart. Spiritual power, mental power, willpower, choices and decisions, and emotional power for a water sign. We would think that would be helpful, as well as minimum throat chakra. It is your choice, your free will, your decision to do the shadow work or not, to delay or not delay that which cannot be prevented, or as my guides like to say it, we love you. It's fine. You can do it now. You can do it later. You can do it next week, next year, 10 years from now, next lifetime, 10 lifetimes to now. But it can be delayed but not prevented, but we love you. Yeah, please take a nice deep breath. Try dealing with that sort of love and compassion. It makes you do your work. Breathe. Here we go. Using the Daughters of the Moon Tarot, I call upon my goddesses of water, the sign of Scorpio. Powers of the West, please, one Daughters of the Moon Tarot for the Scorpio collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, signs, and cross watchers watching this video, receiving this reading. What do they need to know to do the shadow work, to alchemize this destroyer? This full to their Scorpio new October 2022. Eight of Pentacles, the learner. Different than what we're used to seeing, right? Head down, chipping away at those pentacles, Rider-Waite deck. This is a crone teaching a maiden how to weave a blanket. And she's got her work that she's done before to teach, right? She goes, I've done this since before you were born, sweetheart. I'm going to pass this on to you through hands-on experience. However, when it's heart, third eye crown, when it's internal world, the feminine energy, the yin dynamic, this is wisdom. You may not realize how much you have built and learned along the way. Now, the image of a volcano here, I think, is apt because Scorpios, y'all can boil for a while, right? Keep it under the surface, right? Fixed water, well, think swamp water. There's a lot going on in there, right? One drop of swamp water got a whole freaking universe in it, right? But then, ba-boom. Ba-ba-boom, right? Explosion. But it's a good correlation. From the destruction of a volcano comes the fertility of ash. Volcanic ash is volcanic ass. Chipotle. Volcanic ash is one of the most fertile, mineral-dense substances on planet Earth, right? That's why you look at the Pacific Islands, right? How verdant and green, and pineapples and coconuts, right? All that remineralization. So out of the destruction comes creation. It's part of the cycle of it. So you've been through that, right? I mean, my channel is for 18 and over, right? So chances are you've alchemized some stuff already. You have some experience under your belt here, but really more important, behind the vest, right? Because we're not talking lower three chakras here, but we're about to. With the Mythic Tarot, lower three chakras, the yang, the masculine energy, lower three chakras, relationships in the world, root chakras, any group you belong to, three or more, is a tribe. From your family, your ancestral lineage, your political party, your favorite band, like anything through more, circle of friends, that's a tribe. Second chakra, this is really a Scorpio chakra, one-on-one relationships, money, sex, power, creativity, and relationship to another person or thing, addictions and all that stuff, that's second chakra. But then you've got the solar plexus, your relationship to yourself in the world, your self-image, your self-esteem as a verb. Think about that. What is self-esteem as a verb? Your boundaries, your honor code, what you will, what you won't, what you do, what you don't, what your gut tells you when everybody else tells you otherwise. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. As I call upon my gods of water, sign of Scorpio, powers of the West, please, beloved gods of Pluto, one card in clarity for the Scorpio collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, signs and cross watchers watching this video, receiving this reading. What do they need to be aware of? Lower three chakra dynamic. Outside, looking in at them on the inside, looking out at a person, place, or thing. What is it they need to know to help them do this shadow work of the destroyer in the 8th with the learner on the inner? This full to their new October 2022, the Magician. Now, the Magician requires a choice. Now, in a reading like this, when it's a major arcana card, which is the only 2 tarot in the whole 8-card draw, and it represents a chakra system or a part therein, these are all 3 chakras at once. We are talking about the alignment of fire, earth, air, and water, so that spirit, like a lightning rod, like the circuitries all connect, right? It's like looking up, using your Wi-Fi, right? You get the right code, gotta make sure it's plugged in, everything's in alignment. Whew. First card of the major arcana, the Fool is not the first card, it's a 0, it has no numeric value. This is Hermes at the crossroad. Hermes as the god of travelers. Also liars, gamblers, and thieves. There's always a risk with the Magician, but certainly this is about aligning your elements in your lower 3 chakras, fire, earth, air, and water, so that you have a solid foundation. Now, what I like about this is that though you are destroying in some way, shape, or form, and we always are, every exhale, right? You are releasing toxins to bring in the end. So creation, destruction, it's just constant. Choice, consequence, choice, consequence. But this is very much a card of creation, or at least applying willpower in an aligned way. This could be you from the outside looking in. This could be you looking at another person or a situation where this is going down. Definitely a card of manifestation. Definitely saying that you have all the tools you need around you. All the puzzle pieces are there, so to speak. It's just putting them all together, and you have a nice solid foundation of an 8. It's not a 10 of Pentacles, but it's an 8. So if you can take that thing of, all right, I'm in a learning curve. Learning curve should be a healing mantra. Learning curve, right? It gives you lots of grace. Just like when the guide said to me, look, you don't have to do this right now. We love you. You have free will. But if you want, we'll help you. And if you don't, that's okay. We'll try again tomorrow, right? That kind of love and compassion for yourself in shadow work. In other words, you don't have to scrub down your chakras with steel wool, or what do I say, Brillo and bleach, right? Not necessary. The gentler way is actually faster because it's more loving, and love is the truth of who we are. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Let's, a little detox for you there. Let's get you a healing mantra to help bring these 8 chakras into alignment. The healing... Hi, neighbor. Hi, neighbor. If that gets loud, I'll just go close the window. The Macon Healing Mantra Deck, very, very helpful. I use all of the mantras that I get from my Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs in these readings, and I use them for 2 weeks, and they really help. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Yeah, I'm going to call upon the Ascended Masters of the General Assembly. Please, beloved ones, this is too general, right? The Destroyer in the 8th, the Learner on the inner, the Magician on the outer. There's just too many ways to frame that. But then again, with that Magician, from the outside looking in, if that's them, with the Scorpio new moon, first sign of first card in the major arcana, that do make sense. So please, beloved ones, regardless of what this refers to in a general read, what is the perfect healing mantra for the Scorpio collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers watching this video, receiving this reading, to help them heal and do the alchemy of the Destroyer in the 8th, Learner on the inner, Magician on the outer, this fall to their new October 2022. Allowing appreciation. The value of my life increases every time I appreciate everything in it. Now, value. Solar plexus. What is estimation as a verb? Right? You can get an estimate. That's a noun. But to do the process of estimation, self-estimation, because it is true, the more you estimate yourself from the soul's perspective rather than the ego's, you automatically embrace the value that's already there, the eternal, immortal value of the divinity of who you are. It's a bit much, but you get what I'm saying. This is, of course, doing this about things in the outside world as well, which would make sense with the Magician, particularly if you want to experience an increase of value in your life. Allow, in whatever situation this is, right? Allowing appreciation. The value of my life increases every time I appreciate everything in it. When appreciation is allowed, and I think underline that word allow, because you can do it at any time, but will you allow yourself, right? Particularly with the Destroyer archetype. And to clarify, okay, and it's true, I try and say this in every reading, you can have an archetype in the 8th chakra, a reason, a season, or a lifetime, right? A reason could be 30 seconds. Lifetime from womb to tomb, if you want to go there. Thank you, Chrissy Hines. The Pretenders, a hymn to her. But it can also come for a season, which can be a period of time. I mean, any period of time that is not from womb to tomb, right? So to allow yourself to do this, when appreciation is allowed, everything is seen as a gift for the evolution of your soul. Because it is. That's just the truth. The more often you appreciate, the greater value you feel within your own life. While there is true worth in uncovering your life's purpose, most feelings of discontent are not caused by what you do or don't do. It's an action family archetype, also a wild card. They are created simply by a lack of perceived value in your environment. Instead of waiting for things to get better before you allow appreciation, you must be willing to acknowledge the value in all things, little by little, not all at once. This will awaken the feelings of elation that are always alive within you. And yes, that's straight up Abraham Hicks. Focus wheel, rampage of appreciation, sure. But like, appreciate your breath. Appreciating art, appreciating food, that's where we see it as a verb, right? Art appreciation. I never took the classes, but I know what I like. I may not know much about art, but I know what looks good hanging over the couch. A bit more than that. Particularly in terms of choreographic art, vocal arts, that's where I could be a little bit of a critic. Thank you very much. So to do the shadow work, to get that elation in your heart there, this could be helpful. This mantra is ideal for increasing worthiness, decreasing feelings of scarcity, particularly if there's a destroyer situation going on, and raising your vibration, which it does. I highly recommend a rampage of appreciation. It's an exercise from Ask and It Is Given by Abraham Hicks. Read it back in the early 2000s. Tons of videos on it, and pretty much a good time. And you can do it silently. Nobody knows you're doing it, which I know you Scorpios dig that. Let's ask our higher selves. Higher selves of all involved. Whispers of Love Oracle, Angela Hartfield. We're also using her Whispers of Lord Ganesh as our second to last card down. And I do mean the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above. If this is a solo venture, it's just your higher self. If it's you and a cross-watcher, and the person you're cross-watching for, it's both of you. I'm sorry, my kitty cat needs me. My boys are such goofballs. I have 3 black cats. Follow me on Instagram if you want to see them. My 3 sons. But at least for some, I mean, there's always feline intervention going on around here anyway. But during the videos, usually they don't. But when they do, it's because they really need me. So it's all good. So, Whispers of Love Oracle, higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above. Please take a nice deep breath. As I call upon the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above, what is the whisper of love for the Scorpio collective? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross-watchers watching this video, receiving this reading, the piece of information, inspiration, insight they need from the higher self collective to help them alchemize this destroyer in the 8th, learner, 8 of Pentacles on the inner, magician on the outer, allowing appreciation, this full to their new moon in Scorpio, October 2022. Get to know each other. Somebody else is involved here. Get to know each other. Learning to meet another's need for love is important for a relationship to grow. We've wandered into that party. The party hath maybe been turned for some of you that need not necessarily immediately jump to sexual or romantic blah blah blah, right? But it's definitely you and another person, at least you and another person. I guess get to know each other, right? Learning to meet another's need. That doesn't mean it couldn't be tribal as well. And that's a general read for you, which is why I do private reads for people. Plenty of people said, that 8 card draw you did, can we look at that? I'm like, all right, tell me which one and what triggered it, right? And then we dive. So getting to know each other with this learner, do you see? It's an inside thing, but it's a wisdom thing. I find Pentacles on the inner, because it's what I use the deck for in these 8 card draws, and a lot of them I use that for that inner world. It is visceral. oftentimes, like when you feel your heart open, right? When you feel it, not just emotionally, but physically, biochemically. Every emotion has a biochemical reaction and vice versa. That's why drugs. That's why that goes down, because they're biochemical. Getting to know each other, I think, in order to what? Prepare for new life, like blowing up some shit in your life that maybe needs to go, or maybe it's already blowing up, then certainly to be that channel of the divine, as above, so below, as within, so without, by allowing appreciation. It's not that it's not going to matter what you do or don't do so much, but in that process of getting to know each other, it feels like there's more of a intuitive, spiritual part of this, particularly because of that magician, right? So taking it from the 8th chakra all the way down into the root, if you will. So, if you're going to do this, why not have a Divine Animals Oracle? Everyone has spirit animals and totems, though they are not the same thing. All of the cats that I have had in this lifetime have constantly reincarnated. That's what I call it. Those are spirit animals, the spirits of specific animals. The totem of the cat, however, you can feel that. It's like all cats that have ever been, right? All the whole feline, all with a side of feline fries, right? Well, let's not say that. That doesn't sound good. So that's why we'll get you from Stacey DeMarco's Divine Animals Oracle to see what help you have for the alchemy. Please take a nice deep breath. Keeping an eye on my kitties. Still point. As I call upon the spirit animals and totems, for the Scorpio collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers watching this video and receiving this reading, please, who walks with them, who swims with them, who flies with them, who crawls with them, giving them the guidance, the grace, the love, the wisdom, the power, the support, the protection, and the oracle message needed to alchemize the destroyer and the 8th learner on the inner, magician on the outer, allowing appreciation and getting to know each other. This full to their new October 2022. The horse, freedom. I won't let you down. So please don't give me up. Have some faith in the sound. It's the one good thing that I've got. Oh, I miss him. I wonder if he's a spirit guide. I wonder if they're allowed to fool around with the people they guide. Let's not go there. Although I'm talking to Scorpios, you probably know what I'm talking about. Okay, card number 24. Keyword, freedom. Nothing like the feeling of riding a horse. I haven't been on a horse for many, many, many years, but I did love it. I used to ride quite a lot as a kid and a teenager. It's just, certain sacrifices have to be made if you're going to be sitting behind a camera every day. Not much time to do it on a horse, at least not in my gig. I'm going to read you the first part and the last part from, oh my God, Stacey DeMarco. I love her name. The Divine Animals Oracle, the verbal description, and the magical application. Breathe. Horse, keyword, freedom. To be truly free, we must learn true independence. Trust yourself, as listening to people who may have other agendas is not the way to make good, clear decisions. Individuation from our parents is a natural process, although it is often fraught with difficulty on both sides. Your true power resides in your ability to always know you have a choice, and it is yours to make. Boom. This put the power right back in your hands. Now, are there some things that need to be burnt on the way out? Maybe. It is a shadow read, right? Or at least that alchemy. Alchemy takes heat, time, and pressure, right? It's the tempering process to make metal harder, right? The alchemy, etc. So, you're free to do this or not. You are free to do what you want, but certainly allowing that appreciation is going to show you a higher value to what's going on in this situation, which might make it a little bit easier for you to make a clearer decision. Sorry, I'm looking for the horse horse magic. Here it is. This is beautiful. I remember this one. Breathe. Horse magic is profoundly free and powerful. To ride a horse at full gallop is to experience a sacred bolt of the most primal liberty. I like that, primal liberty. That sounds like a weekend. Primal liberty weekend. When you are feeling trapped or small, expand your field by calling for their energy. There's also something very freeing about a volcano exploding after like whatever many thousands of years it's been cooking. There's also a long history of physical and mental healing with horse energy, whether you whisper to them or not. And this can be used when you are ill or unstable. Horse energy invokes a calm and solid presence and can be used to quiet your spirit if you are feeling disturbed. There's more, but wait, there's more. Horse magic is also an expression of trust. In who and what. A powerful horse could go anywhere it wants, yet it is willing to be led. A person trusts the horse to be sure-footed, leap and run away from danger, while the horse trusts the human to be its partner, to not hinder, to take care of it, to guide it. It can be a very deep bond if you allow it to be. If you're ever doubting yourself or feeling trapped, which with the Destroyer I could feel that pressure building up there, engage some horsepower, expand your field by calling for their energy, because you know, wild horses couldn't tear me away. Wild horses couldn't drive me away. Thank you. Sometimes, you know, like a rolling stone. Let's keep going. So the freedom of the horse is you get to know each other, allowing appreciation. That mantra is going to help. You can feel that. So remember how I said about with this card, we'd be referring back to it? Yeah. 3 more atoms here than here. Think of them as symbolic obstacles to be alchemized. And that's why we're using the Whispers of Lord Ganesha. She puts the A on the end. I like it, but I call him Ganesh. I always have. By Angelo to help remove those obstacles with an oracle message. I love this deck. I love the book. And I love you. Please take a nice deep breath. It's all one after all. Still point. Call upon the beloved Lord Ganesh, elephant-headed Hindu god of wealth and success and prosperity and opulence, as well as the remover of obstacles. Please, beloved Ganesh, one card in clarity. What is your guidance, your grace, your love, your wisdom, your power, your oracle to help remove obstacles for the Scorpio collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, and cross watcher watching this video, receiving this reading, the lead, the 3 atoms in lead that would be gold, and the Destroyer in the 8th chakra with the 8 of Pentacles on the inner, Magician on the outer, allowing appreciation, getting to know each other with freedom of the horse magic. What do you got for them, please, beloved one? I love you. Thank you. This full to the Scorpio, new October 2022. Fulfillment. It's narrating a good book. I know, I'm good. Thanks. Talk about appreciation leading to fulfillment. Card number 6. Card number 6. Fulfillment. It's such a fulfilling thing, fulfillment. Let's see what Ganesh has to say. Well, through Andrea Hartfield, right? It's Andrea Hartfield? Yeah. Okay. Card number 6, fulfillment. No matter what you want to do or become, you will achieve more with knowledge. Now that's interesting, considering, again, we've got the learner here. That's why he's reading the scroll, the book, in the picture. This image of Ganesha reading the scroll is a symbol of the importance of education and the pursuit of knowledge. This might mean there is a period of increased study and learning at hand. You may find you want to inquire about a field of study that has been widely explored and choose to go to an experienced teacher to learn more. Look for someone to consult for more information. This may be a counselor, an author, a psychotherapist, or some spiritual advisor. You will discover new skills from this helpful teacher, as they have the wisdom to provide endless guidance and advice. That could be me. If you want to book me for a private reading, wait till the end. I'll explain it at the end of the video every time. Maybe it's not. Keep in mind, there's also a wealth of information at your fingertips in books. Everything you read fills your head with new information, and you never know when it might have a practical use. The more knowledge you have, the better equipped you are to tackle any challenge that lies before you. Additionally, knowledge can never be taken from you. You can't lose that kind of wisdom. Well, knowledge and wisdom, you can read a book, but then if you apply what you learned in the book, it becomes wisdom. Knowledge plus experience equals wisdom. No matter what you're longing to do or become, you will benefit from gaining more knowledge. Approach this time with great curiosity and open mind. All right, so look, if you ask the divine for that, you're literally drawing down spirit. It's got to go through the third eye, right? So to allow yourself to appreciate getting to know each other, and that each other with that in there means that you can read up on this. Like, right, it talks about knowledge, get to know each other. The root of the word knowledge is know, but with a freedom here to it. I don't feel like this is about restricting you. This is about freeing yourself from something, right? This could be about understanding codependent patterns, I don't know. But definitely you being the vehicle of your own healing, and maybe for this whole situation with that Magician card. Kind of raise that vibe. Allow that appreciation. Because you got a lot of it in there. You got 8 of Pentacles, wisdom. Maybe you can move that to the 9 or the 10. But let's find out, what is the gold hidden within the lead, the hidden blessing here, right? We're going to use the Blessed Be, the Celtic mystical cards to bless and empower, but I have dedicated this deck to the pantheons of all pantheons. Apparently they send a delegation every time I do this. Not all of them show up. All traditions, lineages, and cultures. And as much as I try and keep these light and bouncy and fun, because, you know, it's me, we do the blessings for real. Let's find out what the hidden blessing is, and then I'll explain. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Last card down as I call upon. Hey, you over there, stop scratching the wall, Milky or... Oh, Sabby. No, oh no, they're all doing it. I've got to call in a carpenter. Damn. Breathe one more time. Tell you feline intervention, it never stops around here. Still point. One more time as I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine, all traditions, lineages, and cultures. Please, one card for the Scorpio collective sun, moon, rising, Venus signs and cross watchers watching this video, receiving this reading, an indication, the hidden blessing, the gold hidden within the lead. Should they do the alchemy, the shadow work, the process from this full to their new October 2022 with the destroyer, releasing what is potentially destructive, preparing them for new life with the learner on the inner, the magician on the outer, a learning magician, allowing appreciation, right? The value of their life increasing every time they appreciate everything in it bit by bit, getting to know each other, learning to meet another's need for love is important for a relationship to grow, and yet there is that freedom there. That might be what's needed here, is that freedom of the horse magic with the fulfillment of knowledge, of really gaining what they want. It's doable, but they just need to kind of study a little bit more in some way, shape, or form. So please, if they do the best that they can with this, the Scorpio collective sun, moon, rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers watching this video, receiving this reading, what is the perfect blessing that's already in play? The gold within the lead, the hidden blessing for the Scorps and cross watchers, this full to their new October 2022. A blessing for those who are nearing their final breath. It's a death read. You're a Scorpio. The destroyer. This is intense. This card does not come up very often. Now, I will say death is literal in the physical world, obviously, lower 3 chakras, but as well as the death card in tarot is really more about transformation, rising from the ashes usually instead of going to. But this is a shadow read. So buckle up for this one. Card number 43, a blessing for those who are nearing their final breath, practically. opened right to it. So like I said, I'm going to do these blessings for real. I'm going to read this out of here. I got the crystal hardware here to do it. And at the end of it, I release the Scorpio Collective and the Crosswatcher in the energetic field, usually by letting the goofy go. But with this as the last card down, it might not be so goofy. Might be a bit more solemn. Let's see what comes out of my mouth. Please take a nice deep breath. And pantheons of all pantheons, please convey and confer this blessing through me, for them, on their behalf. And here we go. Card number 43, a blessing for those who are nearing their final breath. A blessing for the dying, for those who are near to passing, and for those who will tend to their passing. A blessing on your last days, dear friend. A blessing on these precious hours and on the moments of subtle shifts and changes that now seem so infinitely precious. The light dancing on the wall, the soft murmur of loving voices, the caress of hands that honor you as you ready yourself to go into the great unknown. A blessing for this passing, so that you may be honored and respected as you wish. And may there be sense of ease and grace as you move gently from this world to the next. And may all those who love you let you go. May you know that your life was good and enough, and that any regrets you may have are no longer to be dwelt on, for you have passed your wisdom on in 1,000 unknown ways. And if this is about something, someone, some situation going through its final breath, hence the destroyer, for the renewal, making, preparing for new life, that makes sense, particularly because it's your new moon coming up. May your body feel at ease and softly breathe in and out in the presence of those who want to be with you and support you as the gateway into the next world and the other lives beckon. May whatever faith you find comfort be yours at this time, and may the kindness of others who believe in your goodness be made tangible. May whatever has separated you from the loved ones no longer matter as all drops away in the final farewells. Many unsaid words be understood. May all unhealed parts of you be knitted up with grace, and may anything unforgiven find a blessing in these last moments. You are a beloved one, a child of this entire world, and you were born into this life and have made of this life a blessing for many others. May all of your kindnesses, your generous moments be remembered, and may your mistakes be understood and the wisdom of them learned by others, so they need not repeat them for themselves. Know you have lived a good life, a strong life, and it has mattered, no matter how humble you have felt it to be. You have loved. You have been loved. You have fallen and risen again. You have journeyed from the first breath to the last, and as you prepare to enter again the great cauldron of unknowing, the womb and the tomb, may your crossing be gentle. The veils part, a hand extends to you, and when you are ready, you will go. A blessing on your departure, and know that you shall live on always in the lives of others who shall remember you. And when memory fades, your gifts will live on in mysterious ways. Farewell, dear one, and travel well into the unknown, in which you will rest until it is time to come again into life after life after life. Drink from the grail now and know you are eternal. You are nearly there, beloved. Walk now into grace and be most blessed as you take the first steps into the great mystery. Blessed be, for the well-being of all, and with harm to none. As we will it, so let it be done. So mote it be. So it is. Very, very interesting and powerful read. I'm not so sure how much about literal death it is. It could be. Certainly, with what's going on planet Earth, it's completely possible and completely probable. So if you're feeling it, please comment here on YouTube. Help other people, by the way, see that, right? If it's something that may not click for them and they see it in the comments, that might help, right? And if you want more of me here, by all means, you know, like, subscribe, all of that. Hit the notification bell because I put them out when they're ready, unless I'm booked, and then I schedule them and they come out usually around 5, 6, 7 p.m. Eastern. And if you want a deeper experience, like I said, the magic, the miracles, the mysticism, and the mal in a more private setting, come Patreon on Patreon. Seriously, we're doing some deep stuff over there, and I love the community we're building bit by bit. It's so wonderful. And certainly, if you are a creative type, check it out for yourself. Sometimes the artist needs, the creator needs to reach out and find support for people who are really, really wanting what they're out there to. Certainly, if you want to book me for a private reading, there's a link in the description box. Booking a reading with Mel. It's also available for spiritual counseling, same price and everything. But it explains everything you want us to know about booking a reading with Mel, but we're afraid to ask. Go click the link and reach out and book me and get the help that you need. Certainly for this. This was an intense read, but it doesn't shock me for a Scorpio new moon. And remember, this might not be about somebody's passing. It might be, however, the destruction of something going on in your life, preparing you for new life, which is Scorpio new moon. I think you get what I'm saying. Otherwise, wishing you all the very, very best and the very, very blessed, my beloved 8th housers, my Scorpios. I love you. I've always had Scorpio people in my life, my older brother, you know, my next door neighbors, lovers, friends, all the way along, male and female. So I'm very, very honored to serve you, and reach out to me if you want to work through this. I'm here to help. And again, I love you. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.